No, let's segue over into some hard. We the next segment that I really would like to cover is some of the hardships, the things, struggles and hardships, and how you maybe overcome. We've learned a lot from some people that, because that's one of the things, is that none of us have had a straight line to where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And
Well, we also know that you're manipulative because you.
yeah, so
you
manipulate the
just-
shit. Yeah, just manipulate the shit out of this. And no, just joking. But we know you've had, we've all had our struggles, and I think that's one of the things that is, I guess, educational and helpful, and allows people to relate and let them know that they're not alone. We've all have stories, but we would like to hear some of those, the ones you're willing to share. And
Well, I think my biggest struggle was my first marriage, really, because I went into it with hearts and roses. Okay. And it became thorns and pitfalls,
Was
it
that right
wasn't
from the beginning, or did it take?
Yeah, from the
time?
honeymoon. From the honeymoon. Well, actually, from I do. He was so drunk when we got married that I almost walked away.
Yeah.
He went up to the altar,
become like
smashed.
little wounds that stick with you.
Yeah, and that was one of them. And there were things, just the questions that I had asked, and because we had been apart from each other, and there were things that I had asked and that were very important questions, and he lied to me about them. So when I found out about it, it became very difficult for me to get over that. That's another thing. That was that lie, that baseline lie to start our marriage. I couldn't get over with it, but I stuck with it because I made the obligation. You know what I made? I made the commitment.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe that's the difference between men and women too, because I don't know, I've gotten lied to on stuff. Yeah, but I don't remember, I don't really hold on to it. Like as soon as it's done and I moved on, and I'm like, I can let it go.
Men tell more lies. Women are better liars.
This was a lie that was a make or break lie. This was a make or break lie. So it was a make or break. That's why. It was something like, if I would have known the answer to that question, the truth to it, I would have walked away. And he knew it.
We probably don't need to dig into that.
No.
Yeah. So that was a baseline of our marriage and my hurt feelings. So I did things, and I did things. I'm not going to say that it was all one-sided.
Yeah.
But it became a mental health issue for me, to where I became very withdrawn. I didn't talk to people. I went to work. I came home. I did my job and did my household stuff. I didn't do anything. I didn't really do much with my family. I didn't do much anything. And it eventually became very isolating and very dangerous for me. So once I left the final time and I went home to my parents, and my brother was like, dude, you're not going back. We're going to do this divorce. You're done. I'm not letting you go. I started finding myself again. I went, started out with, physical liking myself again, to psychologically liking myself again. And it's still, every once in a while there'll be triggers and I'll go, oh, no, that's not my life anymore.
How long did that last? I mean, how long were you in that?
27 years.
Damn.
I did 27 years.
How long did you be committed to that?
I had 2 children, and I thought it was better that I stay for them, so they had a 2-parent household, than to leave. My girls now said that I should have left. That they would have been better off had I left.
Was that?
And so that is one of my biggest regrets, in the sense that for them, knowing now that as adults, they say, Mom, if you'd have left, it would have been better. I regret that for them, because they saw what was going on.
Yeah.
Because it was a physical and an emotional abusive relationship.
Okay.
So, but it is what it is. I lived it, and believe me, my story is not the only one out there. Yeah. And I know there's people that had it much worse than me, much worse than me.
But we appreciate you sharing. That's what we're we're trying to get out of it. We want people to share what they're willing to share.
Yeah.
And was your decision to stay? You obviously knew way before you decided to leave. Was
Right.
your no?
No, I left 4 times and came back 3 times. The
No.
4th time was my final leave, but I left 3 other times and filed for divorce even one time. But because of the manipulation on his part, I kept going back
Mhm.
because he made the money, and so he would
Yeah.
kept telling me so it was hard. It was hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and it's hard to discuss it because everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
I don't want people to go, "Oh, Penny was bashing you,"
no,
which
but you know what? We're on here. You haven't brought any names up. We all know who it. Well, I know who it is. James.
But you're also, I don't think you're bashing. You're giving your side of what the experience.
And Penny, you know my first wife, and that lasted no time at all.
Yeah.
And we literally didn't talk for years. But as I got a little more time under me, I realized that, you know what, it should have never happened. We were friends you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's
My
about,
marriage should have never happened, but I
yeah,
will not regret it because I got my 2 girls. I
right.
would go through everything I went through over again just to have them.
Right. And my first wife and I are friends again. Uh, I messaged with her. I actually messaged with her her husband who passed away a couple of years ago, um, quite a bit, and he seemed like a hell of a nice guy, and I was extremely happy for her because he was just seemed like self-aware guy, and it's shit that happens when you're young is mainly because you're young and you're making decisions based on what you know and what you've got. And um, I doubt your ex-husband would ever come on here because him and I didn't get along ever. So
No.
I mean, I would have no problem if he decided he wanted to come on, but I highly would doubt that he would ever want to come on here.
I don't think you.
I haven't honestly. I haven't seen. I don't think any of it's been personal bashing. I mean, you're on here to share what you've gone through, and that's what you're doing. And you haven't mentioned
Yeah.
his name one time, so that's
Yeah.
beyond.
And if
Well,
anybody has any questions about it, they can always ask me, was it so and so? And I'll tell them. I'm not going to lie. I
Yeah.
was married to him for that long. And if they have, well, what did he do? If you want to know, I'll be straight up and tell you what happened and what I did as well. Like I said, there's 2 sides to every story.
And
I
that's
wasn't
always the thing.
perfect.
There's always 2 sides of it, and we all go through our struggles. And the hope is that he's learned from it, he's grown, or or he's not, or whatever the case may be. But we all have gone through those, and not everything's hunky dory all the time. And
Yeah.
you hope people learn from their mistakes and their the things that have gone on. And sharing it is just being real. And that's
Yeah. And
really what we're about, is just having real conversation.
and the fact that you said you do hope he's happy, you don't want him miserable. That means you don't hate him. You don't. I mean,
well,
you
no, I
pro-
don't know if I don't hate him. I just, I do, I dislike him heavily, but I don't wish anybody, to not
Yeah,
have a good
well,
life.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Now,
good.
did I see him and I could get away with running him over? Possibly. No, I'm just kidding.
and your legal knowledge should let you know ahead of time. You should have not said that.
Yeah,
Yes,
Because
I know.
we
I'm
literally
just,
have that.
I know it. I know I shouldn't have said it, but and
We
now
have
there's
that.
a permanent record of it.
We could
But
use
I will
that.
never do it.
well,
I wouldn't do it because you know what? It would hurt my girls as well.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Even though he doesn't have anything to do with them, and that's because they have something to do with me.
yeah.
That is a personal choice on his part. They chose to want to start talking to me again, and when they did, he cut them off.
Well, I went through a real shitty, nasty divorce with my son's mother, who's no longer alive. Um, years ago. I mean, I think we were married maybe a year. And that's the thing. We did not have a good relationship 99% of the time. And it ended how I knew it would. I ended up getting full custody, and there was a lot of back and forth there too. So it was rough, but the
Yeah.
one thing that I never did, and it's probably the only thing I did right in my entire life up to this point, is I never talked negative about my ex-wife in front of my son. When I had uh, full custody of him, he was like 9 years old, I believe, when I got full custody. Um, and when she was getting ready to pass away, he had to put her in a home. She had multiple sclerosis, and he started going through her papers and found out what happened. And he started calling me and asking me questions. Why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you tell me that? Why didn't you tell me? Because her her mother had left him a significant amount of money and property, and she was the executor of the estate. She fits it all the way with. And I told him, I said, it wasn't my story to tell.
Yeah.
So that's
I,
something that I, it's literally the only thing I can say I've done correctly is not bash her ever, because it, the story tells itself sooner or later. And if it happened after I was gone, I would have been fine with that too. I don't need people to like me in my life. And I just want to be fair. I want to put out at least as much positivity towards other people that I can, because it's not natural for me.
yeah. No, and seeing the thing with him is I did stay. The girls were much older. They were 19 and 17 when I left. They were old enough to understand what was going on when I
Yeah,
finally
young
left the
adult,
last time. They were grown
absolutely.
adults in the sense, to what adults are at that age. But when I left, he turned what he did with me onto them. So they saw the reality of what it was.
And sooner or
In the
later,
beginning, they learned not from me what he was like, but from him himself.
which is a better way.
Right. And like you said, the story will tell. And that's what I'm saying. The example is it does. And, I feel bad. I wish they could have a beautiful picture of having a father that was this and that and the other. But now they have their own view from what they experienced.
Yeah.
And like I
Yeah.
said, that's why they said, Mom, you should have left earlier. We would have been fine. So, but
Yeah.
that was my hardship. That was
Yeah.
my hardship because like I said, it made a difference with my career because he wouldn't let me do the student teaching. So, that's what I did. I paid all that money to go to college. And when it got down to me doing my student teaching, he wouldn't let me do it. He wouldn't
Yeah.
let me take the time off. We could afford it for me to take the 6 months off, the time off for me to do my student teaching, but
Yeah.
he wouldn't let me do it. So
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
that was my hardship.
yeah.
Otherwise, everything else is life experiences.
And I appreciate you sharing it, because I'm sure there's other people that have gone through it, and hopefully they look at it and see that you seem pretty happy now. Things seem to
Oh,
be rolling.
I'm overjoyed happy. I'm very happy now.
Life seems to be going good, which is what we all want for all our friends and family. And all you can ask for is just hoping that things in the long run turn out the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another segue,
Good word.
not a transition. Uh,
We'll say 3 years.
advice to your younger self. If you could sit your 17, 18-year-old ass down and say,
17, you're still in high school.
yeah, what would
Still
you
in high
say to
school.
yourself?
Go straight to college. Do what you want to do.
Okay.
Go straight to college and do what you want to do. Because
Okay.
I did go straight to college. I went straight to RCC, but go and do exactly what I wanted to do. Don't question myself.
Yeah. Yeah. How about,
Because that's
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, what advice would you give people our age that are still maybe coming out of something or figuring stuff out?
There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to turn the right corner.
Yeah,
That's fucking.
You have to, just the tunnel always opens up. It doesn't always have to be dark.
yeah,
Take a deep breath, close your eyes, count to 10, and find something that makes you happy.
yeah,
Don't, do stuff because you're supposed to do it.
yeah,
Find what makes you happy and do it. Like my women's club, I do it because I get to meet tons of people.
yeah,
And I like people. So
yeah,
it gives me an opportunity to be with a lot of people and do a lot of fun things that if I didn't have it, I would be bored and driving my husband crazy. And,
yeah, yeah,
y'all don't want that.
yeah.
You may need to get that law degree because you just basically told me to do what makes me happy, so I'm going to chase.
God. Yeah. Okay.
Whatever.
I need to
Yeah, he's doing it.
You're going to need a defense attorney.
Yeah. I'll be a witness.
not sure which side, but he'll be a witness.
Oh yeah, they'll pull me in defense witness for the others, for the defense and for the prosecution. So health and aging, we ask this as well, and it's
Okay.
that we get as we're going into our second hour here.
This is huge because we have nothing to share for women's health and aging other than making you guys crazy. So anything you're willing to share, anything like
Yeah, how's your relationship with your body changed? Most of ours has to do with that we can't do shit that we used to.
That's the same with us. That's the same with women. Things aren't working the same as they used to.
Yeah.
It affects your emotions, your daily life a lot. I'm not a good person to ask. I had things removed real early, so I don't have a lot of the side effects that a lot of women my age do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm one of those. I haven't really had the menopausal issue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a word you guys just didn't want to hear, huh?
No.
But I'm not a good person to
Oh,
ask that
we're
question.
beyond that. Listen, I bought my daughter tampons.
no,
Well,
but
that's good. I'm very proud of you.
we know. I mean, we're hoping other people can get it. I mean, whether it's and the other thing is most of our stuff has been mental because men hold everything in until they fucking shoot up a school.
Well, it does question because I mean, men are committing suicide at a larger pop, right?
Right.
They represent the largest number of people in prison and dealing with mental health and that kind of stuff. And it's mostly because a lot of us don't talk about stuff and we keep it in, and then it just comes out, and it comes out in the worst ways. Women don't seem to have a little bit more resilience that way. It's not that they don't have those struggles, that they don't go through that stuff. It's just on average, men are the ones that are silently dying off quicker. It's also like if they don't have a partner, they tend to die off quicker.
Yeah.
Do you think that having friends and having you've got your mother that you're very close to, that now I'm sure some stuff, I don't know. Do you feel you talk to everything to her? I mean, everything about everything to her, or is there some
I've
stuff that
told
you
her
kind
I have told her everything.
of,
And
okay, so
there isn't anything I haven't told my mom. How's that?
that's
So
cool. So she's like a best friend on her
she's
own.
like my best friend. She is my best friend. And I mean, even when I was doing things that were inappropriate and wrong, I still told her.
So do you think that helps a lot, having that outlet, having somebody that you can let that out to?
Yes, it does. It helps a lot. It does help. Does it mean that you still won't have those mental health issues that can put you in a dark place? No. You can still go there.
Mm.
You can still even have, as a female, you can have best of friends and still share and talk. But remember what I said, girls, you know, even as adults, we still question on what another person thinks and stuff. Am I good enough? You know, we have questions of our own. You guys, I think, have it more. In my opinion, is you guys physically look at yourself and say, I cannot bench 150 anymore. What's wrong with me? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a physical thing. I don't know if it's totally mental, whereas girls, it's a lot of mental. We question ourselves all the time. Does this outfit look good? Am I getting all these wrinkles? I've got, crow's feet. I've got age spots. We beat ourselves up really bad for all those things.
I'm glad you went down that road. That's kind of, I think that, and that's not something we even thought to ask, but along with the aging wise, how has that affected you getting older, looking at, I don't even fucking look in the mirror when I shave.
I don't fucking care. I mean, I don't know.
But I mean, you're told, especially in our era, I have no idea about later generations, but you guys are basically like held to, okay, your life is to make yourself as beautiful as possible from the time you're as young. How has that been? That can't be easy.
How do I look at this for my senior picture?
I already know the picture, so I don't have to scan in like James does.
No, I'm fucking blind.
Here, I'll put it back up there for you, James.
Yeah, there you go. No, I remember that picture.
How do I go from that to this? I look at it and go, number one, why the hell did I cut my hair that short? I mean, that's actually long from what I wore in high school.
How many cans of aqua spray did it take?
Yeah, how many cans of, how are my lugs still going when I used all that hairspray and all that stuff from getting it to stand up like that? But you know what? I think I've come to grips with it because I was a sun bunny. I knew that was going to age me. I still am a sun bunny. I still love the sun. And so I get, I have the age spots on my arms and stuff, not real bad, but some. But I've come to grips with it pretty good. The times that I really question it is because my husband's so young. When we go places and stuff, how do people look at me with him being that I'm older? I think that's my hardest one. Me, if I was just me and I didn't have a younger husband, I don't think I would care as much. Yeah. But having a younger husband does put that pressure on me a little more. He doesn't care. He doesn't, he's like, you're just fine. Great. Don't worry about it.
You look great for your age. So, I mean, I've seen some rough roads from people that are probably younger than you, right?
Definitely younger. Yeah. And that's why I wanted your opinion on it, is how, I mean, just the way we were brought up, where my sister's like 5 years older than me, and I know she goes through it, and I would love your opinion on that, because
I just don't think men, I don't ever remember, other than is my hair fucked up and I have like an alfalfa going on, or do I have zit or that kind of stuff, or I don't remember that being like the major focus, because I mean, hell, I wore fucking long johns, cut off long johns to school. I should care.
Which goes back to prove mine and Bill's point last week about you being way different than what you saw yourself.
Yeah. I just don't, I don't know if I don't know if that was a common thing for men, is like, we didn't really think about our looks. I mean, if we were going out, we do our hair up and we want to look cool and that kind of stuff. But I don't know if the way we look at ourselves physically that way, I think has transitioned into now we're kind of the same way. It's like, yeah, if I'm going to go out, do I want to look good? But we don't obsess over it. The way I see even some of the younger generations are like obsessed over jaw lines and cuts and all that stuff. And it kind of throws me off. I mean, if I got good muscles, I might be paying attention to that. We did a little bit of that, and you're looking yourself. That's the only time you look at yourself in the mirror, is like I'm benching. Oh, look at my arm; it looks strong. But I just
But I
don't.
think
There's a
guys look
difference
at
in
that
trend,
as,
men and women.
yeah, no, it is different for men and women. You got women, we have a magazine that we're supposed to be like. Now
Yeah.
we've got social media that we're supposed to look like these things. And I mean, we've always had that. So it's been a pressure. It's pressured all along. My 10-year-old granddaughter asked grandma for facial care products for her birthday.
Oh,
How old is she?
10.
Oh my God.
Sephora sells a line that is targeted for girls between the ages of 8 and 12, I think it is.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
And that's what she asked for. That is what
Yeah.
she asked for her birthday. Damn stuff is expensive as freaking
Yeah.
hell,
Yeah.
but I bought it for her because that's what she asked for. But I
Yeah.
mean, that can give you an idea of when it starts and how it
Yeah.
starts.
Well, I know
You
with
know,
my own daughter, one of the things I did, because my daughter's my baby girl. She's the youngest of the three. And I spent a lot of time talking about how smart, how tough, how resilient. And I obviously did also say she was pretty. But that was never a major focus of mine with that. I had three sisters. So when I looked at my own daughter, I wanted to make sure she knew that she's my baby girl. I loved her. She's smart. She's so capable. She kicks ass in sports and I would just always encourage her that way. So I might have a follow-up conversation with her because I mean, I don't think I don't know if the beauty thing happened with her, but because but you still have all those other factors that are out there. She was very sports minded and not so much beauty queen minded.
see,
Penny.
I wasn't. So going back to my girls, they were very, you know, wanting the makeup and the beauty products. I wasn't that big as it. I did it just very basic. I wasn't very basic, but both of them are more into the makeup and the hair and all
Yeah,
that stuff. Was a big deal for them when they were younger. And I fed into it. I gave them what they wanted.
yeah,
If you
yeah,
okay, you want makeup, you're old enough now. Let's use it in moderation so we don't look like streetwalkers. But uh or clowns. I was worried about the clown phase there for a while.
yeah,
But they are still more into makeup and facial care and all that stuff than I am. I mean, I'm not
yeah,
saying I don't do it, but I know
yeah,
that my granddaughter got it from her mother.
yeah,
Trying to be like her mom, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, trying to be
The
like
thing
mom.
that bothers me, and I didn't have a biological daughter. I have literally, I call her my redheaded stepchild because she looks like she's got beautiful, like Irish red hair. Um, but I've been her stepdad for decades, so um, I've been around her forever. So the thing that luckily she's very fair skinned. She never really got into that stuff too heavily. But the thing that's bothered me, and I could say bothered over the 10 years, 12 years, I guess John Benet Ramsey was the first one that bothered me, is these parents dressing their very young daughters up and over making them. It literally makes my stomach turn.
Yeah, the little
And
beauty pageants. I
oh
can't
yes,
stand it.
it makes my stomach turn. And it's not because beauty pageant, it's because the way
They
they're,
look like little adults.
yes, and it's scary. And then all this Epstein shit comes out, and it's like, okay, these sick fucks have to have something to do with part of what's been going on here. Um, I just,
But it's not something new though. It's been going
no,
on forever.
yeah, but there was a reason for it in Shirley Temple's days, which was way before our time.
Yeah, but she
But
still looks like a little girl.
right, but they had to make her up because of the they were filming, literally film,
Right.
and they had to over exaggerate things to get their and Jen Pierce has given us some good feedback. And Jen Pierce, I don't know if you remember Jen, but Jen has worked for um literally I don't I know she was working for CBS, but she's worked in that industry forever, and she's got a keen eye for that stuff, and I really, I'm going to have to call her out to get her ass on here so I can dig deeper into that, and how much is that, how do you get a makeup person that actually knows how much is too much.
Oh, you want makeup tips, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants makeup tips
Talking
now.
about any transition.
Okay, you're gonna need help with your blush.
Yeah.
We need to
No,
contour
I mean,
you a little more.
yeah. Going back to the aging thing, right? I mean, it is fascinating the difference that we go through, because it's, I mean, the cliche is, like the men getting more attractive as they get older, right?
Yep.
Well, I know, but that's what you see in the media. Is like,
Yeah, it is.
yeah, you look at a Sean Connery at 65, 70 years old, and people, I mean, he was still considered a sex symbol, right? And then you
Yes.
reverse that with other celebrities that are in their 60s, and you're like, she lost something there a lot, right?
I dare anyone to look at Selma Hayek in a bikini today and tell me she looks worse today.
Well, yeah, but look at all the work she has. I mean, that's okay, but that's unrealistic. Me turning into, a Sean Connery doesn't take much work, right? As far as looks go, right? Because I'm going to age, because that's all he did, is he just naturally aged. And for whatever reason, his beard and the structure of his face and all that stuff, he looks kind of decent.
But have you watched
Selma Hayek has an entire staff of people that are keeping her all up in order.
If she needs help, I'm here.
What I'm saying is, like, the average woman doesn't just naturally go that direction. Am I right, Penny?
No, you're right, because it takes all kinds of, you got beauty companies that are constantly saying you need this cream and you need this regimen and that regimen, and a lot of your actors and actresses, because they've been on screen and stuff, have these huge regimens. They have their own lines of healthcare, facial care products and stuff like that. And you don't, as a regular everyday person, we don't know what's real, what's crap. We go by what is told to us by the social media of what's better for us, and looking at the reviews and all that stuff. So we try it out. I've got cupboards of crap that I just throw out every month or so, that I go, I don't use this crap anymore, and throw it away, because I don't see any changes. It goes to the trash,
Yeah.
But you've got people that can, you got professionals that can go get Botox and lift, fillers and all that crap. I am not. Do you know how much that stuff costs to get Botox?
Lots of more. I don't know, the women that I've dated, like I dated women that are in the beauty industry, right? In fact, one of the longest,
call them that.
Come on, and she's our age, and I mean, and it's because she's around it. She's doing hair, she's doing weddings, and she's around all this all the time, and she does a fantastic job. And I've always said, it's someone I'm still very close to, and I've always like, I could care. I don't care. I don't care about all of that stuff. It's great that you look great. I go, but when it all comes off, right?
What we all,
and it's all going to come off anyways. And so, that's where the beauty. So I think women hold themselves up to this like unrealistic standard. And part of it is because of the Selma Hayeks and these others that are out there that build up these images that it's possible. And I go, well, it's not possible with all the other stuff going in, and men don't get inundated with that stuff.
Yeah.
I go, I mean, I got a belly and I got this. I go, these things are it's just, that's just who I am. And it doesn't impact it as much, right? I mean,
no, men don't have the same criteria of aging as women do.
Yeah.
Men look at, I'm not stupid. I know I don't look horrible, and I see older men look, but it's like, okay, in my mind, was that a good look now, or was that a bad look?
Yeah.
Well, we question it now more than because when I was younger, I'm like, that's creepy, dude. You
Yeah.
know, now I'm wondering, is that a creepy or a good look?
Yeah.
Should-
I know.
Yeah. No, it's exactly it. I mean, the health and aging is very different for men and women. And I think society sets those standards that are unrealistic. But like
They do.
if the person that loves you, like I mean, your husband, I'm sure he tells you that he doesn't care, right?
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He doesn't care about the makeup. He says, "Oh yeah, you look great." And when asked, he wants you to feel good about yourself, right? But
Yeah.
do you believe it?
That's
Do you believe he doesn't care?
yeah. And I believe he doesn't care. When it's like today, I'm all, should I go curly hair, my natural curly hair, or should I go straight? And he goes, what does it matter?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, what makes you feel good? And I think that's what I see in some is like you can say it to them, right? You can build them up and you can say it and you can, repeat it over and over and over again. And it's not going to be effective till you believe it. And
Till you
take
believe it
it
yourself.
and you're saying it to yourself. Because do you need to look like no. Some of the stuff is just fake as hell. I mean, you get online and the amount of stuff that is out there, like just fake ass stuff, especially now with the AI and
Oh,
you've
yeah.
seen the videos with the makeup where you got someone that's got buck teeth and has blotchy skin and they look like they were just out of Deliverance, the movie Deliverance from the Louisiana bayous, and they come out and they turn out and you're like, oh my God, that's not even the same person. And it's just all fake. And
It's
I
all
go, I don't
filters and
know if
AI.
men are wanting that.
Yeah. But see, we don't know exactly we have a preconceived idea of what men are looking for. And that's what
Yeah.
we're trying, that standard is what we're trying to stand up to.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes really hard because we can't get there. And therefore it turns into that mental health issue that we discussed because
Yeah.
we're not seeing it. No matter how much money we spend on Sephora or Ulta or whatever, it's not giving us what we think
Or
you
doing
guys want.
surgeries that permanently change your body and,
Yeah.
doing that stuff. It's like, damn, I just don't
No,
see
thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, no.
You might get the Meg Ryan effect.
Yeah. Well, I've been told, people have asked, I go, oh, you want to, and I'm like, no, don't, I would not endorse anybody getting breast enhancement, like lift injections. I go, don't.
See, I'm opposite. I believe do whatever the fuck makes you happy.
Well, yeah, I
don't care
agree
what
with
I
that.
say.
I go, I agree with that, but I'm like, it's not necessary. If that's what's going to make you mentally healthy, but I don't think it does.
You got to do it for yourself.
Well, I just don't think, how a surgery makes you feel better about yourself. I just don't. I don't
It
know.
doesn't always.
If you're doing it to stay on
It-
witness protection, it might be.
if you're
Well,
staying
yeah.
on witness protection.
Yeah, witness
But no,
protection.
some surgeries don't make you feel better. Okay.
Yeah. Because it's here.
Because
You gotta
they
be
don't always
happy here.
last either.
That's
They don't always
probably
last.
most attractive. For me, that would be the most attractive thing is mentally here.
You get
And
along.
it's fucking, I have no idea. 31 years we've known each other for a long time. Yeah. And, but when it comes to females, there's like this total, I watch that stuff all the time and there's like this total disconnect, especially nowadays of what women are thinking men want, like what they want in women, in like what men want. And I'm like I look at my own son and I look at them and the happiness they're going to have over the years because they have women that that's not their full focus. Hasn't been that. And they want a partner they can be vulnerable with. Right.
Yeah.
And,
No, and
I
that's
don't
true.
know if that was ever taught with like our generation. Cause I don't know. It'd just be curious to know because I think that's what a lot of men want. And I think that's when you talk about young women, right? A man taking on younger women, right? There's something to that. They're more pliable, right? It's not necessarily that they're more beautiful. It's that they're willing to be what the man needs them to be rather than and trying to make the man into something they're not.
Yeah.
Right?
I kind of, my husband said when he was trying to date before we got together, he said women are real catty, but
Yeah.
the younger women are more, they don't have heads on their shoulders. That's why he was when they're just kind of like floaty and more worried about their facial, their looks and their attire and stuff
Vapid.
than anything else in the world. And that's what I was concerned about with my daughters and my granddaughters and stuff like that, is I want them to have heads on their shoulders. Do not worry, what you look like changes. There is nothing, you can't stop time on how you look. You can kind of slow it down maybe by not being in the sun and stuff like that, doing some precautions. But if you don't have a good head on your shoulders, it doesn't matter how well you look. You still aren't going to be a good catch.
Yeah.
I'd like to outlaw filters. Social media filters would like outlaw.
Yeah. So just on moving over to along with the aging, right? Maybe we have this segment that we want to do before we start closing out on the session. We would like to finish on a happy note, but we do want to take it a little bit more serious and somber. With friends or people that that have passed. I don't know if you know anybody, but what we were hoping to do is a little bit of a if you know someone and had a nice story or anything like that. That you could share that, if someone's listening, they may get a different perspective on someone that they love, that they no longer have with us. Is there anybody out there that you know of?
Do you remember Manuel Casada?
Yeah.
Stink?
Yeah.
He passed away.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he passed away from cancer.
Oh my God.
I remember sitting in the Denny's diner on Mission after a long night of drinking. And Manuel Casada was there. And I've known Manuel for years. And
did you know, Todd, that he passed?
I had found out a few months ago. Steve Gertis.
I knew his. I mean, I spent more time with his younger.
Shocking. I mean, he's one of those people that seemed like he was always in really good health. But then again, as we get older, we don't know what happens. We don't know the path that led us there, or if it's just genetics that decided, fuck you, it's your turn. Manuel was one of them people that you kind of always looked at him and said, fuck, I wish I could be that. That guy was always.
He seemed like he was in a good mood all the time. Yeah, I played soccer with him.
Yeah, he was in a good mood all the time. He just positive. I think in a week of his life in high school, I had more positivity than I've had in 57 years. The guy was just a huge, like one of them people that just had freaking rays of sunshine behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think he was most likely to something when we were your senior year, wasn't he?
It could have been. I don't know.
I'd have to look at the yearbook to see, but I think he was most likely to something.
He was,
or most best dressed or something like that, because he was always dressed to the nines.
Yeah, he was very. He was he was a trendsetter. He was way ahead of trends. He always had that classic style. Good. I mean, he's another one of them people that was just a good human being.
Yeah.
What the world is a much worse place without him.
He was a good guy. He left his son behind. His name is Simon. He was married, and his wife passed away just a little while after she had Simon. And then she passed away, and then so he raised Simon on his own. And then just recently he passed away, though. I hadn't talked to him in a long time because who he was friends with, but I'm just saying, I just know that he passed, and he was he was wonderful with my kids and stuff like that. He just was a great uncle to them. He was someone they could have gone to and talked to about anything because he was there for them. He was that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And so, but he was taken too soon.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
That's one of the things that, I mean, I never had a problem with Manuel, but some of the people he hung around with, I didn't get along with. So we didn't spend a lot of time in a lot of places together. So, but I never thought of him as anyone other than a friend, and we always had some good laughs.
Yeah.
That's a
Well, I looked up to him. He was a great soccer player, right?
Oh yeah, he was.
He was always really, on it in soccer practice. Never really was one that stood out as someone that was a bit of a diva. There, you had a few people that were like divas on those. When you got the more star players, walking around like their crap doesn't stink, and he seemed always like very personable. Yeah, that's sad. We've lost a few, and those are the kind of things we want to share and remember and get out there. So appreciate you sharing it. I did not know. Did not know. I played soccer with his brother Marco.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yes.